you gave a list of strategies for slowing GDP growth while improving quality of life. And one of the things you mentioned was more progressive taxation. And I just want to confirm, you mean going with that would be an overall increase in taxes? I wanted to ask if that's what you meant. And then you talk about increased heavy spending in public services, which I think also requires increased taxation.
In terms of the taxes, yeah, I mean, even just statistically, the U.S. is badly undertaxed because of if you just look at where we are in the OECD ranking. I don't know where Canada is, but we are, you know, undertaxed even compared with Europe. We not only need a lot of extra income to do some of these things, which would be easier to justify if we were spending the money we already took in from the public in a wiser way. But we also need to use those funds to do things, you know, what I was alluding to in my talk about, you know, economic democracy. We need an economy that is programmed a lot more by democratic priorities than we have now. It's not just sort of deficit in infrastructure investments and public amenity investments and environmental restoration investments, but the general concept of having our economic priorities reflected through the democratic process, and rather than the way they are manifest or come about today. Just to give you sort of one example, we should be creating in the United States about 500,000 jobs a month now. We're nowhere near that, and merely priming the aggregate economic pump is not going to produce anything like that kind of those number of jobs. So the really great thing would be to have a whole set of governmental spending and incentive priorities, directing growth and job creation into areas where we have real deficits and need additional employment and activity. So you get a double benefit. You not only increase jobs, but you serve a major social purpose. But you're not going to get that by just those kinds of jobs, or even any kind of job, by simply priming the pump. At 3% growth in the U.S., you barely produce enough jobs to create jobs for the new entrants into the workforce. You've got to get up to about 5% a year for several years to really bring the unemployment rate down, and it's just not going to happen that way.